to all. In classroom, we are confronting with students coming from different backgrounds, cultures, caste, class, etc. How do, as teachers, we understand them properly? In this video program, we are going to discuss about the growing up context of children, its implications to teachers. When we discuss from a school context, that is very relevant. So that we have with us one expert, Mr. A.J. Philip. Let I introduce our expert. Mr. A.J. Philip is the manager of Deebalaya Senior Secondary School, Kalkaji Extension, New Delhi, and chairman Deebalaya Senior Secondary School, Guspati, New District, Haryana. He was until recently Secretary and Chief Executive of Deebalaya, one of Delhi's larger NGOs. He is a journalist by profession and has 48 years of experience. He has held high editorial positions in newspapers like the Tribune, the Hindustan Times, the Indian Express and All India Radio. He has written over 10,000 editorials for various newspapers and has written thousands of articles including obituary. He is also an author and translator. He has translated Professor Omcheri N. Pillai's autobiography Agasmigam, which won 2021 year's Kendriya Sahitya Academy Award into English. He had been a guest faculty at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, NISCOT and IIMC. He has also given guest lectures at AMU, Punjab University, Chandigarh, Punjabi University, Patiala and Himachal University. He was a consultant of IGNOU when it introduced a course in creative writing in the 80s. Welcome, sir, to this session. Okay, sir, regarding the growing up context of children, firstly, I want to know, could you please explain the psychosocial aspects of disadvantaged children? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the nice words you said about me. I am very happy to introduce the two schools with which I am connected. One is situated in Delhi and the other is situated in one of the most backward districts of India. And Niti Aayog recently described New district in Haryana as the most backward district in the country. And our school is situated in Guspati, which is the most backward place in the whole of New district, which means our school is situated in the most backward place in the country. And the students from both the schools come from more or less the same socio-economic background. For instance, in the school in Delhi, our school is situated in what was once a huge slum area. And most of the children in our school come from nearby areas and they are all very poor. And in the case of our school in Haryana, most of the children, 99% of the children are from neighboring villages which are all very poor. And in both cases, one distinguishing feature of these schools is that the students are first generation learners, which means many of their parents have not gone to the school. It is the first time that they are coming to the school. So this is the background in which our students come from.
Yes, okay. So could you explain what are the psychosocial aspects of such children when they are coming to school?
Yeah, as I mentioned, they are first generation students. They see the school as the only place where they can get information, where they can get knowledge. So they treat our teachers as virtually gods, because it is from them that they get all the information. They can't go back to their parents and consult, Papa, is this right? Mommy, is this right? Because they themselves know that their parents are not educated or many of them are illiterate. So they see our school differently. Another thing, many of them, as I said, come from disadvantaged sections, which means they do not have good food, they do not have good clothes, they do not have the comforts which a modern child in Delhi is entitled to. So these are the socio-economic situations in which they come from. So these are disadvantages which they have to overcome.
Okay, Mr. A.J. Philip has rightly stated what type of students are included in that school. And when we look at the psychosocial aspects of such children, we can see that their self-worth or the self-esteem sometimes becoming low because of the poor background of their home. And when they are getting support from such schools, so that the teachers can build up the psychosocial aspects of such learners. Could you please narrate some instances where you have come across with the disadvantaged children?
Yes, I have so many experiences to narrate. For instance, sometime back, one child came to me. We have introduced online education in our school because of Corona. So the children came to me with their parents, and they told me that, sir, we don't have a phone, a good phone. We don't have a good phone. What about, forget, a good laptop or a computer or some other device. They don't have even a good smartphone. So what should we do? How can we attend the classes? So that was a genuine problem. So I did discuss it, and then I found, some way in which I could provide them smartphones. So they were immediately, and I actually, I made an announcement on my Facebook page saying that, some of our students need smartphones. And some people were kind enough to offer smartphones, and I handed over the phones immediately to those children. This is only one aspect. And then there are also cases where, children come to me saying that, we are unable to pay fees. Because obviously it's a private school, it's an engineering school, but we also need to pay salaries to the teachers. So we have to collect fees. Sometimes they come to me saying that, sir, we don't have money. What can we do? So what I do is I try to raise resources for them so that the school fees are paid. So nobody is thrown out of the school because of lack of money. And I believe that India is a large country, and we have enough people who can afford to help such people. So I try to meet such people. I try to raise resources through them and see that their studies are not affected.
Yes, truly, sir has stated some of the instances. And how could you find such type of disadvantaged children? Because in a classroom, it is about 30, 40 students sitting together. How you could identify such children?
Yeah, for instance, one day I was attending the sports function at our school. The children were taking part in the sports. Then I noticed one thing. See, some of the girls, who were athletes, who were taking part in race, found them, falling. And I found them falling, and they immediately would give them, glucose, and then they would get active again. I was wondering, why so many girls are, not boys, so many girls were falling down. Then I found out that, these children, they don't eat any breakfast. They come to the school most of the time on empty stomach. The first meal that they have is when they return home. So many of the children, so that day I could find out who are the children who needed the food because they were falling down. So this is just one way of knowing. And even otherwise also we know the teachers, we know the students. The teachers know the students, and they also know that if the child has not eaten food. And we have a system whereby we won't be able to give them food. So what we do is we inculcate the habit of sharing among children. So we will tell children, those who can afford, bring some extra food from home. When you bring 3 chapatis, why not bring 6 chapatis? So that you can share the 3 extra chapatis with somebody who was unable to bring food. That is how we manage it. So we solve this problem through sharing of food.
We have seen some of the instances how as a school can support disadvantaged children. When we think of growing up context of children, we can see that there are children who are coming from comfort zones as well as the zones which are not much comfort, like some kind of streets, marginalized children, street children, like that. And when we think of the children who are growing up in different family structures also, the way they are nurturing is different from the nuclear family or the extended family. Now we know that because of the fast-paced world, the parents are compelled to go for work, and we can see the rise or the emerging trends of families such as single parent family, cohabitant family. So different types of family structures are emerging. More than that, we can also see commuted family. What is the psychosocial aspects of such children when we think that when the children are getting the concern or the support from one parent, they are missing the love and support from the other parent. So in that case, it's not possible for one parent to resolve or solve the issues of such children. In that case, the school should be a second home for the learners. Do you think that disadvantaged children lack skills when they enter school?
I personally do not believe that disadvantaged children lack skills when they enter the school. On the contrary, there may be better skill than children who come from advantaged families.
Yes.
For instance, a child who lives in a slum area, he knows much more about life than a child who grows in a bungalow. Why? Because he sees many things in life which a child sitting in a big bungalow won't see at all. So there is no lack of skills. Where the children lack is, for instance, a child who comes from a rich family may have access to knowledge, he may have access to information, he may have access to computer, he may have access to television. A child from a poor background may not have those advantages, but that cannot be called a lack of skills. And children from disadvantaged families have greater care for their fellow beings. I will give you one small example. 2 years back, we have a school in Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh. I went there once. It was the New Year day. And, we took some eatables for the children, including a piece of cake. And the eatables, all the goodies were in a bag, in a small plastic bag, and he gave it to all the children. And everybody was also given a piece of cake. And believe me, there were about 150 children. They were all very, very poor children, and majority of them were little children. Believe me, I did not find a single child eating that cake. So I was curious. So I asked the children, why are they not eating? Why are they not eating? He said, कार जाके खाएंगे, हमारा मम्मी के साथ खाएंगे, पापा के साथ खाएंगे. So they had not tasted, perhaps in their life, they might not have eaten a piece of cake. But when the cake was given, they wanted to have it with their family members. And I don't think that kind of concern is there from for among children who come from rich families.
Yes.
So that was an amazing experience for me. So children from the disadvantaged sections have perhaps greater skills than children from rich families. That is my personal experience. And you mentioned about single families and single parents. I had a very, very bad experience recently. He had a very brilliant student. He was from a very poor family. His mother was a maid servant, and he was doing very good in studies. And his husband and his father was North Indian. His mother was a South Indian. His mother was a North Indian. His father was a South Indian. And he was a very nice, very well-behaved child. One day, we found that, he committed suicide. When we went there, we were shocked to find that, there were differences of opinion between the husband and wife, and the husband had abandoned his wife and things like that. So that was the circumstances in which, but unfortunately, we unfortunately did not know about his background, and he could not do much about it. But we lost a very brilliant and a boy who would have been, who would have succeeded in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have listened how, when on the part of teachers we are lacking to know the background of children, we are losing the future generation. So it's very important for a teacher to understand the background of a learner. From which background the learners are coming to class, why they are behaving in particular way. We may tell that such type of children are always creating disturbances or they are having some kind of problems. Whether we have taken any initiative to understand such children. So this is very important on the part of teachers as well as the school authorities to know the background of the teachers. So sir, you have stated about several instances. Could you please elaborate how can a school provide quality education to children belonging to disadvantaged group?
In our case, a majority of the children are from poor backgrounds, and there are only a few children who can claim to be from the middle class background. So what we do is, so our teachers know about the background of the children. And I must here mention that the children from disadvantaged sections are far more disciplined than from rich families. That is what I have noticed. For instance, they treat the teachers as I said in the beginning, as something like gods. And the teachers get enormous respect from the children. Because you know why? Because they depend on the teachers for all their knowledge. And unlike, when they go home, in many rich families, the homework given by the school is actually done by the parents. But in our case, our children cannot expect their parents to help them in doing their homework. So what we do is, we generally do not give homework to the children. Or we give only work which they themselves can do.
Yes.
We don't expect the parents to help the children at all. So that is how we take. And besides, we also take care of the children, and we also ensure that if a child has a problem, we will try to find out what is the problem. And we have employed 2 counselors, full-time counselors, and their job is to counsel the children. And we have several cases where our counselors were able to resolve their problems and bring them up properly. I'll give you a small example. We had a very difficult child. He was a very difficult child in the sense that he was a very rebellious boy. And he had come to our school from a government school. So whatever be the reason, he was creating a lot of problem in the school to the teachers. He would challenge the teachers. He was behaving in a very, very erratic manner. So what we did was we could have thrown him out of the school. We did not do that. Instead, we tried to counsel him. And we tried to understand his problem and we tried to resolve his problems. And over the period of time, he became one of the best students of our school. And he got very good marks and he passed out of the school. Even today, he is a college student. Sometimes he comes to our school to meet the teachers and say, "Hi, how are you, sir? I am doing fine." So that kind of relationship we were able to establish with that boy. Only because we took extra care of the boy.
Okay, good examples as narrated. So we have listened how the approach of the teacher or the school authorities can change the attitude of a child. So in an empathetic manner, when we behave with a child, there is a chance for transformation in the mind of the children. Instead of labeling them as nuisance, the empathetic nature of the teacher and school authorities are needed in order to provide the quality education. So a rapport between the teacher and the student is needed. Just merely providing the infrastructure facilities will not satisfy the level of quality education. Next one, sir, what should be the approach of a teacher towards the disadvantaged children?
Yeah, a teacher should be very sympathetic. As you know, we had our President Dr. K.R. Narayan, he was the President of India. When he was a student, he often came to the school without lunch. And the class teacher noticed this. And what she did was, the teacher would bring a small packet of lunch for him also. Every day he used to give K.R. Narayan, who became the President of India, a packet of food along with the lunch that she. And when he passed the school examination and he wanted to join a college, it was this teacher who supported him financially also. And later on, he got data, sponsored him, he became a student of the London School of Economics, he joined Indian External Affairs Ministry, and then, finally he became the President of India. How could he do all that? How could he accomplish all that? It was all possible because of one teacher who helped him by providing him lunch.
Okay, sir, you have narrated a very good example where it is in front of us. How the approach of a teacher, the empathetic attitude of a teacher changed the life of a student, and how the student achieved the highest position in India. And at last, sir, what do you want to tell about whether the teacher should understand the diverse context of children? Why is it necessary?
Yes. See, all children are good children. No child is bad. All children are good, and they are very good if they are treated well by the teachers. The teacher should know the circumstances of a child. If the teacher knows, if the teacher sees that a child his uniform is not well, is not proper, then he should not blame. He should try to find out why. And then you may come across, the child may be telling you that he has only one dress to wear. So he was wearing it, yesterday night also. That is why it got soiled. So you should not blame the children. So when the winter comes, the dress may not be that clean. So the teacher should understand the student and then treat him or her accordingly. And if there is a good rapport between the teacher and the taught, and nothing is impossible for her.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your description with instances from the school background. So through this video, you should be able to understand the necessity to realize the background of the children and how to deal with children in an effective manner.